now as it's been.
So, oh my gosh, can I repeat the motion as it's written? I don't think so. It's amendments 2 and 3, but there's been 2 amendments to them. Do you want me to go
How
find
does it read now?
Pardon?
How does it read now? It's been so long.
How about I read the titles? Proposed Amendment 2 is replacement of Article 8, Section 2F regarding officially chartered organizations with the amended version, which okay, so Article 8, Section 2F is the duly elected president or chairman, as the case may be. And then we're striking of each of the following clubs. So we're striking the names of the clubs that are currently in our bylaws, which I'll just tell you that it's Clark County Republican Women, Clark County Young Republicans, Clark County College Republicans, and Super Teenage Republicans. So 3 of those 4 organizations don't seem to exist right now. But there's other organizations actually that do exist. And the comment is that we have no chartered organizations at this time. All chartered organizations should be treated equally. So removing the names of non-existent organizations and/or organizations without a charter is a logical step to make our bylaws consistent and fair. So that's the change in Amendment 2. Amendment 3 is addition of a new article proposed to be Article 19 regarding the establishment of process by which organizations may be officially chartered. Actually, I guess I don't have the exact wording here, but there's a section here on this new section 19. I guess I'll read the comments here. It says our bylaws already reference an officially chartered organization, but no process of chartering exists. This resolves that issue by defining a specific and fair process for obtaining a charter. And then I'll read this here. That Section 1 says the CCRPCC will consider for issuance of a charter and recognition of delegate positions and/or any appointment rights granted under these bylaws any organization whose purpose is purpose includes supporting and/or promoting Clark County Republican Party or its core principles and/or adopt the platform or promoting membership in the Clark County Republican Party. Section 2, guidelines for petitioning of a charter. Any Republican volunteer organization wishing to be chartered by the Clark County CCRPCC may petition the chairman for issuance of the CCRPCC charter. In order to petition for a charter, the organization shall provide with its petition certification by its chairman or president, as the case may be, and secretary, and documents to support its certification that 1, the membership of the organization consists exclusively of Clark County Republicans as defined in Article 3, Section 2 of these bylaws. The executive board may establish a discounted membership dues rate of not less than $5 for membership of any chartered organization. Said dues to be remitted either directly by the member or on behalf of the member by the chartered organization. And in the case of youth groups with members under the age of 18 years, the organization must certify that such members have declared their intention to become members of the Clark County Republican Party upon reaching the age of 18. 2, the organization has a countywide membership of a minimum of 10 persons. 3, the organization has members in at least 3 precincts in the county. 4, no member of the organization's executive board may be the member of an unwelcome organization as defined in these
I would
bylaws.
strike that, Mr. Chairman, since we are not considering the concept of unwelcome organizations.
Without objection, I'm striking that. And then B, the petitioning organization shall submit a copy of its bylaws, governing documents, charters from other Republican organizations, if any, together with the names and address of at least 10 Republican members in their precincts, and the list of organizations officers to the chairman with its petition. There's just one more section here, chartering procedures. Upon receipt of a petition for issuance of a charter, the chairman shall immediately refer the petition to the Volunteer Organizations Committee for investigation, or in the absence of said committee, to the executive board. The investigation shall be concluded within 30 days or within 10 days of the next central committee meeting, whichever is longer. Recommendations shall be reported to the central committee meeting, or central committee at its next meeting. Upon receiving the recommendation of the Volunteer Organizations Committee or of the Executive Board, as the case may be, the Clark County Republican Central Committee shall consider whether to issue a charter to an organization in its sole discretion, and may issue a charter by a simple majority vote of the voting members present at the next duly called meeting of the Central Committee. All information related to membership lists and financial affairs submitted by a petitioning organization shall be strictly confidential. No such information submitted by a petitioning organization shall be distributed or sold to any person or organization without prior written approval of the petitioning organization. We want to speak in, where are we at, favor or opposition? I don't remember where we're at. But if you want to come speak in favor or opposition, come on up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise to speak in opposition. If we look at the way this is written, it relies on the definition of Clark County Republican, which is something that we are not going to take up right now. We've said we're not going to deal with that. And it relies on the definition of the unwelcome organization, several places beyond the one that was just recommended for striking. And those two elements of it mean this is integrally tied to the other items that we've already decided we're not going to take up today. I don't believe we can reasonably move forward on this because it's too intertwined with the things that we agreed to contentious today. So let's think about what we've got right now. If an organization wants to be considered to have this special status, then it requires a 2/3 majority to put them on the list. That short list that is in the yellow section we stripped. That's the way they get into the party right now, the club right now, is that they come and they get their organization put there. We have a mechanism for taking organizations that are legitimate, that are consistent with our objectives, and adding them to that list of people who get a seat at the table. The method that's presented today requires us to go into areas that we've already said we're not going to go into. And I don't think we can support this as a group and end up with a charter, with an organizing document that is self-consistent. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Can I ask you for clarification on those issues that are not addressed? Because of the one about the unwelcome organizations that was struck, I didn't think that I read anything that was relating to other
Mr.
parts.
Chairman, I would move that there's another section that I thought you were going to get to that deals with unwelcome or reference to unwelcome organizations. I would move to strike that and any of the 2 or 3 references to Article 3, Section 2, which is not going to be considered today. I think that would resolve it.
If there's no objection, we'll strike those. I guess not.
Okay.
Okay, Okay, so, but you pointed out that there were some areas that still reference those other sections, so, okay, so we'll strike those. We'll have to get together and make sure we have those. But, so anybody want to speak in favor of the motion? Anybody want to speak in opposition of the motion?
Vicki Kraft, precinct 441. In general, I'm not opposed to having charter procedures. That's fine. I am going to oppose this today simply because I do think more discussion needs to be had. I personally have, in section 3, a few potential amendments. They're small. I have a couple more in section 5 that would be probably a little more digging. And what I would personally like to see is maybe a process after this meeting that we did similar to the core principles discussions, make them open workshops. I know this is going to be an intense discussion, but for the reason that we did have new information brought forth today, plus I do think input and discussion, just a little more free format would be healthy. So.
All right, is there any more discussion? Christian, do you want to, Chuck, are you waiting?
Yeah.
You want to speak in favor of the motion?
What I want to do is,
Then why don't you come on up here? Come on, you start the timer.
look at, after 25 years of fighting for the Republican Party in Clark County, a quarter of a century, okay? The Republican Party has to stand for something, okay? We have values, we have principles, okay? And if we don't stand for something, we're no different than the Democrat Party, okay? Why was John McCain censured by the Arizona State Republican Party? There were plenty of reasons, check it out, okay? When you don't uphold the values and you deceive the people and you vote against what the Republican Party stands for, that's what happens. And if we don't stand up for what the Republican Party stands for principles, for values, take a look at our country now. Where is our country headed? We are in so much trouble in this country today because we're not standing up for our values and our principles. And if this country does not wake up very quickly, we're going to lose our country. Thank you.
So would the maker of the motion like to give closing? Oh, Mark, have you spoken already on this?
I've spoken several times.
On this, not on this motion? Okay, thank you.
Mark Easton, 720. So, just to make it clear, the Clark County Republican Party has no exclusive right to the name Republican. And chartering organizations seems to me to be a method of certifying them as Republican. And what the Republican Party of Clark County needs to do is, by their statements and by their actions, be Republican, and let everyone else stand up to that standard. I don't think having charter organizations does that.
So would you like to speak, closing comments?
Okay, certainly whether or not you want to be able to charter organizations, I mean, this is a legitimate question, and, one way or another, it's probably a legitimate decision. You just either want to have that process or you don't. Right now, our bylaws reference that with no description for the process. So if we vote it down, then we just are a party that does not charter organizations. However, I would like to address a couple of erroneous claims that were made in this process. One is that there's nothing in this chartering process, especially after deleting the unwelcome organizations clause, all right, that is a litmus test of any kind. It doesn't prevent an organization from having whatever name they want and doing whatever wonderful or dastardly deeds they want to do. All it does is give them the option of applying for a charter if they want it. All right? There is no litmus test on this. It does not even claim exclusive use of the name. Oh, the Unwelcome Organizations Amendment that we're not considering did discuss that. That's true. There should be a protection of our brand if it's going to be overtly abused. But not in this chartering section. And so it's an optional thing. You either want to have a process where you charter organizations or you don't. But this amendment is proposed as completely benign as far as thought police, litmus tests. I don't see how you could read that and come to that conclusion. But nevertheless, for your consideration.
So I just did read these two sections, sections 2 and 3. So let's just go ahead and vote on them, unless you guys want me to read them again. Is something wrong with my reading?
You need a division on that.
Yeah, there. Yeah, and yeah, there are. We did bring a lot of snacks. So we were picturing we were going to be in that room, but when they got here this morning, the heat wasn't working over there, and it was freezing cold. So and they didn't let us bring food in here. So it actually seems pretty cold in here. Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, we really appreciate you guys giving us some contributions to help pay for this space. The reason that we're here is we have Jimmy Johnson, who's not here today, he's out of town, but he's a member of this lodge, and we had the meeting for this month and the prior meeting. It cost us $90. The college is now charging us $1,100, and so that's why we're here. But unfortunately, I think they've sold this building as of next month, so this will be our only time here. So we still need a good place to be. So if you guys will chip in for the food and the space today, it would be helpful. And we'll do that, and then we'll do that ball.
Turn that in with our name badges?
Yeah, I think we better try and collect some money here. So, but let's take the vote.
Do this while we're in the middle of a vote. It's very disruptive. We don't remember what we're voting
Thank you.
on.
All right, it's a strategy. Right. So anyway, so we're ready to take the vote, and the vote is on these two amendments that I just read, amendments 3 and 4, and these are bylaw changes which require a 2/3 vote, and the effect of them would be.
It's 2 and 3.
Pardon?
2 and 3.
What did I
2
say?
and 3, not 3 and 4.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Were you reading the wrong one?
Just testing. You mean 2 hours? So anyway, let's just go ahead and vote on these two. So all those in favor of the motion, which was for these two amendments, 2 and 3, go ahead and stand. Yeah, sure. Whatever you say.
We lost one members, so they can't count the full
Okay, be seated. And those opposed, please stand. be seated.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I move that we adjourn this meeting.
I think we have to vote.
Okay, well, it's on the floor.
So the motion fails 28 to 29. And so this was required 2/3 vote. So, okay, so the next thing on the agenda is the resolution regarding the
Mr.
Congresswoman's
Chairman, we
vote.
move to adjourn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think the motion to adjourn is, takes precedence or whatever it is. Anyway, it's not debatable. So the motion to adjourn is not debatable. So all those in favor of adjourning, am I doing this right? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Nay. Okay. All right, all those in favor of adjourning, please stand.
I gotta go get a lung brush.
Okay, you be seated. All those opposed,
She can't stand. She can't stand.
I think two.
Mr. Chairman,
You can be seated.
point of information, Mr. Chairman, are we going to be